everyone, I'm Destroy Mariko, and today we're going to be looking at a colourful punk set. Before we get into that though, if you could hit subscribe whether you're watching this on the Destroy Mariko channel or on the Punk Rave Australia channel, that would really help us out. And also I have to let you know that everything today was sent to me as a gift, but I'll always give you my honest opinion in every review. Okay, so here we are on the website, and the first item for today is the Punk Skeleton Bones pleated skirt. If we look at the description, it's made from colourful plaid fabric and high-grade metal alloy hardware, skirt front with double head zipper from waist to hemline, front hip area with horizontal PU leather zipper decoration with quality metal eyelets and metal skeleton bones O-ring with contrasting dark strap and skeleton ghost head rivet, no pockets, irregular front hemline, regular plus size available. And so let's have a look at these pictures, and straight away you can see, yeah, that colourful look, but still having that punk vibe. And I really like this colour scheme, you know, the yellow, the blue and the pink, because like it's kind of rainbow but without being like overly rainbow, because like there's a lot of rainbow products out these days, and you know, sometimes you want to look a bit different. Yeah, so I think that's kind of cool. Here's a close-up and you can see these details a lot more easily here. Yeah, cute, the side and the back, and you know, this sort of irregular cutout going on here. Close-up of the zip. And yeah, these details, like that's really interesting. Look at this O-ring, like instead of just being a regular O, it does have that skeleton look. I'm keen to see that in real life. And aren't these cute? Oh my goodness. Close-up of the patterning. And this is pretty much what we're going to be wearing today. I mean, I got this top previously in another video, so you can watch that if you want to know more about the details, but I can put it on for today so that we get this overall outfit. As for the size on this skirt, I'm going to be doing the small size. At the end of each like set of pictures on this website, you will find a size chart, so I'm going to be trying the small size. Now if we move on to the next item, that's the colourful punk plaid face mask. In the description, it's made from colourful plaid fabric, elastic band ear loops with adjustable buckle for easy wearing and removing. The nose is equipped with a moulding strip for easy adjustment over nose, high quality eyelets, decorate front mask, black inner lining, unisex version, one size only, but actually there's two sizes, so that's a bit of a mistake. Anyway, let's look at it here, and you can see it's that same kind of fabric, just the yellow and the pink, which is cool. And some more pictures. I actually also really like that spiky collar. I have a thing for spiky collars. Maybe I'll wear one of mine as well when we try it all on. But yeah, Punk Rave Australia masks I've actually found really comfortable, at least for my face shape and like with the fabrics and so on. So yeah, I'm loving like having a different option, because the other ones that I have are very like, you know, dark themed. Nice to have something a bit more colourful. Yeah, and they have this nice lining, so that helps as well. Yeah, look at these cute little details. You know, I love that it's not just like flat, and yeah. Oh, also these ear loops, yeah, that makes it really easy to wear as well. Like they've got them on the other ones that I've got from Punk Rave Australia, and yeah, they're really easy to adjust, which is great. You can see how they're attached there. And yeah, the outfit for today. Now with the sizing for these, as you can see, we've got the head circumference, I think is probably the main one that you want to use. They do classify it as like female and male, but you could also think of it as like small and large depending on what fits your size. So yeah, that's what we're going for today. I'll bring this picture back up. This is the overall idea, sort of a rainbow theme. Yeah, it kind of goes with like, I used to have a band called Rainbow Death Ray, and if I was still doing that band, this would be absolutely perfect for it. Anyway, enough of me talking, let's get back to opening things. Alright, so here's the package for today. Now, this was actually sent to me like a while back, along with a previous review. So I feel like I can't really tell you much about shipping just because the global situation is so uncertain at the moment and things are always changing. But I have noticed that Punk Rave Australia will always list any disruptions on their website. So yeah, if you're not sure and you want to get an ETA, that's probably the first place that you would look. And then if you had any more questions, you can always send them an email and they're really helpful with that. So let's get right into opening it. Alright, let's start with the skirt. As usual, a bit of tissue paper and silica gel. Alright, here it is. How good are these colors? And like now that I've got it in person, I can actually see a little bit of overlap. So if you see the yellow, it sort of goes to this greeny color, like just for the briefest moment, and then blue. And then there's sort of like a mix in with the pink down around here. So I like that. I like that it's like got a little bit of that going on instead of just being like, you know, flat color, flat color, flat color. We've got a little bit of merging. All right, so let's start at the top, and you can see this this top seam here. It's quite thick. Now there's a few differences. On the outside at the bottom of the seam, there's this sort of black strip, and that's actually got kind of like a leathery look and feel to it. Whereas on the inside, it has the same thing, but this is actually a more matte kind of fabric. And I like that because I'm not a huge fan of that smooth leathery feel on my skin. I actually prefer that matte feel because, like, you know, it doesn't stick to you. So I love that they've made that difference. Then on the front, we have the zipper, and yeah, you can see there's a top zip and a bottom zip, which is really unusual. And yeah, you can take it completely apart like this. So I've really never seen a skirt like this with the zip like going the full length and opening completely up. But I think that could be really cool because then you don't have to like pull it over your legs. You can just put it around you and then zip it up, which would make it like really easy to get into. And then with the bottom being able to open up like this, if you wanted to like, I don't know, show a bit of leg or just change it up a bit, you can totally do that and make that part of how you're wearing it. I think that's a really interesting design, and I love that they're experimenting with different ways of doing things. And then of course, if we look at the inside of the skirt, they've put this flap of material over the zip part so that it's not going to scratch against you, and yeah, be really comfortable. Next up, let's have a look at these little details, which are really interesting and awesome. So as you can see, we've got this leathery bit here, which is the same kind of like leathery feel as this seam here. And yeah, then we've got the eyelets and the zipper. Now I think the reason the website specifically mentioned no pockets is because like it kind of does look like pockets, and you can actually also open it up like that, but of course there's nothing inside there. So and that's actually a really solid zip too. But oh my gosh, I love these O-rings. How cool are they? Like, yes, we got some focus on it. It really has that skeleton sort of like knuckle bone kind of thing going on, and like just so cool that it's not a round circle, like, you know, they've actually put some design into it, and it feels really solid as well. And then we have these straps hanging off them. That's sort of like a thick fabric there, and of course these adorable little skull and crossbone decorations. And on the back you can see the way that they're attached there. Coming back more to the body of the skirt, as you can see, some of the pleats got a little bit wrinkled in postage, and of course I've had them sitting around in that package for a couple months, so you probably won't have yours sitting around that long, but you can always iron them out and make them, you know, nice and straight again. And then down the bottom, as you can see, a pretty standard but nicely done seam there. And then here's a closer look at the part where they do the asymmetry. And that's the inside. And here's the one on the other side, which is done slightly differently. It looks like this seam on the inside is a little bit bigger, so that's probably why that looks a bit different. And then of course there's the fabric, and it feels really nice, really smooth. Like it has a little bit of thickness to it, but not in a super heavy way. It's a thicker at the top where this seam is, because obviously it's folded over, and it's I think this bit in here has kind of stiffened it a little bit, but then it sort of opens up and flows really nicely and feels really smooth. All right, now let's look at the mask. I love how they also put the tissue paper and silica packets in with such a tiny item. Like, you know, the attention to detail. Even with the smallest items, they want to get it to you in as best condition as they possibly can. All right, so here we are. And as you can see, the colors are a perfect match for this skirt. So it's the same sort of fabric on the outside, feels exactly the same. The fabric on these straps feel a lot like those ones that were dangling off those sort of fake pockets on the skirt, except that they're maybe a little bit softer. And then I'm not sure how easy it is to see, but with these eyelets, there's actually like, it's actually a properly punctured hole, so it's not going through to that pink fabric. You can actually see through to the lining underneath. So keep in mind that this is a 2-layer mask, and if you're somewhere where they're recommending 3 layers, you might want to put something else underneath it, especially because those holes go all the way through. So like, yeah, it's 2 layers, but some parts are maybe only 1 layer. Always keep in mind that these are fashion masks and not like proper surgical masks. I mean, that's probably obvious, but yeah, just to mention that. Now, as with other Punk Rave Australia masks, this nose wire is really good. Like, it really holds the shape. It's really easy to move when you need it, but it will like stick exactly how you need it as well. And then this is the same inside fabric that I've had from them before, which is really comfortable on your face. The same easy to use ear loops that you just sort of like squeeze it and pull. And yeah, it's easy to do, but it'll also stay there. I love these. I've seen some other ways of doing it and they're just not as good. And then there's also the sort of outside seams. They feel really smooth as well and well integrated into the entire mask. And then finally, I guess the way that these decorations are put in here, where they all cross over a lot, you'd think that it would be heaps bulky and kind of weird, but no, they've actually made it really smooth. Like, I'm not entirely sure how they've done it, whether they've, you know, cut the fabric so that it's not overlapping as much, but yeah, it feels surprisingly smooth. Obviously, there's a little bit of extra thickness around this area, but it's not as much as I was expecting, so that's really cool. All right, so those are today's items unboxed. I'm gonna go and find that shirt that the model was wearing, and then I'll get changed changed and we'll do some twirls. All right, so I've got the outfit on and I'm ready to do some twirls for you. Now I'm gonna put my measurements and the items measurements in the corners so that you can get a sense of how those match up. And yeah, then at the end we'll have a talk about it. So I hope you enjoyed those twirls. Now let's have a talk about it, and we'll start off with the skirt. So I really love the skirt, and I think the size is perfect for me. It fits really nicely, and the fabric is really cool too. Like, it feels really good, and it's also like light, so good for warm weather. I also really love that zip going all the way through the skirt. It made it so easy to put it on. Not that skirts are difficult to put on or anything, but it just like makes it that step easier. So it's not a stretchy fabric. It's not one that you can just pull over your legs. And usually with other skirts, like, they'll just have like a half zipper, and so you pull it up and then you zip it up. It's just like one less step with this one, where you just like put it around, you zip it, and you're done, instead of trying to pull it over your legs and stuffing around with that. And it also means, like, you know, if you've slightly miscalculated with your hips, you're not going to have any problem getting it over them. Like, as long as your waist is the right size, it'll go over, and then yeah, you're pretty much done. And yeah, I really am impressed with the fabric, because there's no lining in this skirt. It's just the fabric as is. If you saw my review last time, I did a skirt as well, and that one did have a lining. It was kind of an odd lining with, like, you know, pants leg holes in it instead of just being completely open. And the lining on that was really soft, but what's impressive about this skirt is that you don't need the lining for it to be comfortable. And so I think that gives this skirt extra points for like more summery kind of wear, because the less layers you have, you know, the less heat that you're trapping in there. And with how colorful it is, like, you know, it does have a bit more of that summer vibe, you know, bright colors and things, rather than your sort of more dull winter vibes. Now, as for the mask, as expected, it's really comfortable, and it's also really easy to breathe in, which is something I've noticed with Punk Rave Australia masks, is like, yeah, I can breathe in these pretty well, and I can talk. I mean, I'm not sure that the volume always comes through 100%, because obviously you've got things in front of your mouth, but in terms of breathing, yeah, because I have tried other masks and just really struggled to breathe, and it's like, yeah, no. And I think this one is slightly easier to breathe in compared to the other Punk Rave Australia masks, maybe because of those little holes there. So if you're someone who's a little bit more sensitive to having all that in front of your face, maybe this one's a better choice. There are some odd little things that I've noticed with this mask though. So first of all, you know, if you're obsessed with symmetry, you'll notice the yellow is slightly more dominant in the way that it just sort of conforms to my face there. I don't mind that though, because like I prefer the yellow. Like, pink's okay, but I'm not really a pinky kind of girl person. Also, with regards to symmetry, if you look underneath here, there's a slight difference in how it sits on the face, and I suspect that's because of the way that this decoration is reinforcing the fabric, whereas this is much looser, and so you do get a little bit of variation under there. But those are just cosmetic things. One thing that might be a little bit more annoying is, at least for my face shape, this may not be the case for your face shape, but when I open my mouth really wide, things start to get a little bit awkward. So it starts popping over my my nose, and you know, that's not really a great thing. So when I'm wearing this, I just need to not open my mouth too wide. Now, I haven't noticed that with Punk Rave Australia masks in the past. Now, I didn't explicitly test that in the past, but I'll do it quickly for you now. So it does move a little bit, but not as much as the Colourful one. This mask though, if you notice, like, I think my voice was a little bit more muffled, and I think that's because it is so solid, as opposed to this, which gives you a little bit more airflow. And then there's this one, which is a similar deal to the Serpent one. I think with all of these, like, if you keep opening your mouth really wide, they are going to move a bit, but I just noticed a lot less movement with these ones compared to this one. Now, keep in mind that I've had the other two masks for a lot longer, so I've had some time to get the ear loop adjustments right and like figure out exactly where I want the nose, so that might be a factor here. But in terms of breathability and speakability, I think this is the easier mask. I did notice just trying them on then that the Serpent mask is the hardest one to be understood in, followed by this one. They're both easy to breathe in, but I find that this one is just that extra level. And if you consider, like, you know, it's been warm weather in Sydney, you know, you don't want to be wearing like overly hot masks just because of the sweat factor. Like, I know we're trying to keep our mouths covered and, you know, not spread virus everywhere, but at some point, personal comfort, and you know, if you're going to be in a situation where you're speaking a lot, yeah, I think this would be the mask to go to. And I think these two are a lot better in like that cooler weather, so I'll definitely be making good use of them when winter comes back around. Although, you know, also being different designs, they're going to go with different outfits. So, you know, there's a few different variables to play with, but those are a few differences between the different masks that I've tried. Now, I know some of you will think I'm being a little bit too obsessive and be like, you know, are you really going to be going out and opening your mouth so wide? But I just thought I'd give that extra detail for anyone who is wondering. And like, you know, I guess if you're like really tired and you need to yawn, that's a situation where you will be opening your mouth wider. But yeah, other than that, it's really comfortable, and yeah, I really like this mask. Now, as for how the whole outfit looks together, so you'll notice some differences between like, you know, me and the models, obviously, because they're a different size to me. I think the main thing that's different is when I wear this top with the skirt, you do see a little bit of my stomach. And I think like they must wear their skirts really high because this is a like crop top. But yeah, size differences aside, I think it still looks good. Although, like, you know, with the hot weather that we've had over summer in Sydney, like it's not been super hot, but it has been really muggy. So I don't think I would go out with this long sleeve at least until like, you know, early autumn maybe. So in the hot summer weather, I think I'd be wearing more of a t-shirt rather than this. But I think what I like the most about how it looks together is how it goes with my hair. Like, that's totally unintentional, but it's almost as if they designed it like with me in mind. And you know, even with the skirt, like the dominant color in the skirt is actually the blue, and that's the dominant color in my hair at the front there. Like, I've got all this blue. And then I've got, well, it's actually red, but it's sort of faded over time. That sort of red and yellow colors, like to match almost match the pink and the yellow. And the fact that the mask is the pink and the yellow, like it works really well to match with the skirt because I already have like that dominant blue here, so I don't need the blue in the mask to match with the skirt. It's just like this really cool unintentional coincidence thing going on. And I've got to be honest, like with the warm, muggy La Nina weather that we've had over summer, I have been kind of tempted to actually just like shave all my hair off. But you know, with an outfit like this, I guess I'm having second thoughts because it matches so well. I'm like, oh, do I really want to do something that extreme? Maybe I should keep the color a bit longer. But that's just how it applies to me. Like, obviously I know not everyone has colorful hair and not everyone wants it. So I guess thinking more generally, what I like about it is that you can still have your goth punk vibes, but bring a bit of color to it. I mean, having a little bit of color, it does have a little bit of that cutesy vibe. So if you're into that, that works. But you can also like, you know, it works well with the goth punk aesthetic. So you can still have that kind of badass cutie going on. And I also love that it manages to bring all these colors into your outfit without going for like a stereotypical rainbow. I think it just makes it that much more interesting. Like, yes, you can have color in your outfit, but you're still gonna look different and individual. And then yeah, it does kind of make me think of my old band Rainbow Death Ray. It would have been perfect on stage for that, like, you know, bringing some of the colorful vibes in there along with like my dark moody gothic stuff. It's maybe not enough to convince me to like restart the band or anything, but if I ever find myself in something similar once again, I know exactly what I'm going to be wearing. So yeah, I think that covers everything for today. The skirt and the mask, I think they're both really nice, and I think they go really nicely together. I love that they have a lot of matching themes, like not just in the coloring, but also like in the little eyelets. And you know, they both fit really well. The measurements on the Punk Rave Australia site have been really good for me. The fabric feels really nice. They're really comfortable. And then yeah, I love that they're always experimenting a little bit with their designs, particularly with the skirt and that front zipper. Like, you know, that's really cool. I really love it. I would love to see it on more products. Same goes for those skeleton O-rings because I really love them. That cute design, like they're always coming up with that kind of stuff. It's really awesome. So yeah, I think that's my opinion overall. I really like this outfit. It goes nicely with my hair. It's fun, it's comfortable, all that kind of stuff. Now, if you're interested in buying either the skirt or the mask or both, usually for the first 30 days after this review goes live, there'll be a 20% discount on both the items or one item. You don't have to buy both of them. And that's applied at checkout, so you don't need like any discount codes or anything. Anyway, as usual, I'd like to thank Punk Rave Australia for sending these items for me. Like, you know, I have such an amazing wardrobe now. It really is a shame that I can't get on stage. It kind of does suck that I don't have that many opportunities to wear all this right now, but when we actually can get out there, you know, for more than a couple months at a time, I will be ready. Now, as usual, if you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, subscribe, share, comment, all the YouTube things. I know you hear all that stuff from like every creator out there, but like the social media stuff does really help us, and you can help us out by, yeah, getting that out there. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time when we open this gigantic package. See you later, guys.